Hello everyone. In this video, let's talk about why we need long pips without sponge. If you've stumbled upon this video by accident and are wondering how one can play without sponge, I understand you're surprising. I had the same impression at first. I couldn't understand why one would play with such a hard, uncomfortable rubber. But now I like it, it's interesting, and here is the short answer to the question is, with long pips without sponge, you can play on the table, at medium distance, and long distance, basically everywhere. Play however you want. By the way, while we are creating interesting and useful videos and reviews for you, come visit our TT Maximum store more often for purchases. It would be the best way to show your gratitude for our videos. You might think that long pips without sponge serve a special purpose. Perhaps it was the case sometime in the past. But at this moment, there are so many different long pips with various properties that you can use them anywhere, even in the kitchen. Naturally, each specific rubber has its strengths and weaknesses, limiting its application. So, the first thesis is that in general, with long pips without sponge, you can play any game that is available for long pips. If you've tried different pips with different sponges and found that you enjoy playing with long pips without sponge, simply choose the most optimal rubber for your playing style based on your feelings. But you can think about it differently. Suppose you prefer a softer feel, then you need a sponge. If you prefer it tougher, then without sponge. Or maybe you like a lighter racket, then choose without sponge. Because adding sponge would significantly change the weight and feel of the racket. But you might think in another way. If you want more control but with maintained speed, then without sponge is probably not your choice. Because removing the sponge also removes a significant portion of control. Or you're sitting dreamily with a hooker and wondering what pips to use to increase spin reversal. Well, then definitely without sponge, a sponge reduces reversal. And regardless of how you like to prepare your pips, I urge you right now to decisively subscribe to our channel and like this video. Come on, don't be lazy, click right now. Now let's talk in general, theoretically, for a common understanding, about where to use long pips without sponge and where to use them less frequently. Probably, the main feature of long pips without sponge compared to long pips with sponge is that pips without sponge react less to incoming spin and provide more spin reversal. So, when we play against different spins at a short distance, more unpredictable balls arrive at the opponent. And these balls cause errors and uncertainty in the opponent. Even when we play against flat shots, balls from long pips without sponge often behave oddly. The ball tend to decelerate faster and to fly shorter. Its bounce can be slightly higher or lower than expected. All these effects hinder the attacker's opportunities to attack. The attacker wants to make a quick move and attack with a cool topspin that will rip a piece off the table and affect the pips player to their core. But when the ball unexpectedly lows down and bounces unpredictably, the triumphant hit may not happen, and the attacker is left wondering what to do next. So, to sum up, due to the high destructive effect, the main role of long spines without sponge is to play on and near the table. It's playing at a short distance with the intention of creating tricky balls that, in turn, disrupt opponents' attacking pressure. Tricky balls, disrupting the opponent's game plan, slowing down the pace of the game, getting a chance to attack, receiving dissatisfied and irritable curses from the opponent. That's approximately what we have when playing with long pips without sponge near the table. And when the opponent is normal, we laugh together at the flow of funny situations, during funny misses, unexpected bounces of the ball, and so on. I've had situations where I got a perfect ball to attack, swung grandiosely, slipped, and fell under the table. It was very funny. In short, pips are fun. That was such a logically justified look at the purpose of long pips without sponge. But as I said before, if you simply like long pips without sponge and want to play differently, then play differently, as long as you enjoy it and have fun. For example, you can play defensively. It's not entirely rational, as you could be more effective using long pips with sponge for that. But still, people play like that. Some people play with long pips without sponge defensively even at the very high level. So, you can play literally however you want. You can think from the perspective of efficiency, or you can think from the perspective of pleasure. Do as you please. If you're not planning to compete with Ma Long at the World Championships, then you can experiment. And if you think I've missed something and want to add, then write it in the comments under this video. Bye for now.